Sometimes the universe gently guides us into moments that shift our perspective, helping us see with new eyes, feel with a deeper heart, and open ourselves to experiences we never expected. It's in those moments that we begin to remember our connection to something greater, something wild, ancient, and beautifully alive. Hey, I'm Kendra. Welcome to another video. I was on my way to go work and I ended up stopping by the park because I feel like I've been getting messages all week that I need to ground, that I need to get in nature. And so it started off, well, I've probably been getting the messages for a really long time. I just really haven't paid no attention to them. But it started last week on 4th of July. I was actually vlogging and I was delivering. And I got in the car leaving Walmart and this video started playing. And I couldn't figure out where it was playing from. I knew it was playing from my phone. I checked TikTok. It wasn't on TikTok. I checked Instagram. It wasn't on Instagram. I checked my Apple podcast. It wasn't on that. And I checked the internet. I'm like, where's this coming from? Well, it didn't dawn on me that it was coming from YouTube. So finally, I looked at my home screen and I could see that I had an open YouTube tab. So I swiped over. And opened that, and that's where the video was coming from. So what happened was I was trying to swipe down and open up something on my phone at the same time as I got the YouTube notification that video was posted. I wasn't trying to click on the notification for that YouTube video, but I did on accident, and when it opened, I just swiped it over. And so I got in my car like at least 2 or 3 times before the time when I got in and I turned on the media and it came on. So when it came on and I was trying to turn it off and I couldn't figure out where it was from, I was like, okay, this message must really be trying to find me. So I was like, I'll listen to it later. I'm trying to get directions right now. Matter of fact, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to swipe down on my phone to open up my directions when I accidentally opened up my maps when I accidentally opened up the YouTube video. So then I just swiped it away. But then when I got back in my car, the video didn't play when I turned on my media. Then I went and made a stop, got back in my car, turned on my media. The video didn't play. It didn't play until I was leaving Walmart. That was like the 3rd time that I had gotten in my car and turned on my media. And I was just like, that's strange that it didn't play any of those other times. So maybe I really need to listen to this. So I got my directions, did what I was supposed to do, and I listened to the video. And it was basically saying, it was this, I think her name is Jadena. I don't really know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Jadena. But I watch her videos often, but I hadn't watched one in a while. Which is funny because like a couple of days before the 4th, before this all happened, my husband had sent me a video on TikTok. He's never watched any of her videos before. He didn't know who this girl was. He just watched the video. It resonated with him, so he sent it to me. And I was like, oh yeah, I follow her on YouTube. He was like, she got a YouTube? And I was like, yeah. But I didn't really think anything of it. After that, I watched a little bit of the video that he sent me, and then I went on about my day. No big deal. Well, then a couple days later, that's when the video came to me, and for me to definitely, she always says this video will find you. It found me all right. But I didn't watch it right then. So I got the directions that I needed to go drop off the stuff that I needed to go drop off, and then I kept thinking about it. And so I was like, let me watch this video. So I watched the video, and she was talking about how her life changed the instant she got more in tune with Mother Nature. And she's told this story about how it helped her and different things that she's done. It was a very moving and very touching video that I watched, and I'll link it below for anybody who might be interested because it's a really good video. Okay, so that was on the 4th. Well, then we went to the lake the next day, and I really wanted to go to we went to the lake, and we went to stayed at this hotel. We went to the pool and did all this stuff, but we didn't actually go to the lake. And I wanted so badly to go to the lake, and we were supposed to go on Sunday. But Saturday was a little crazy. And we didn't make it to the beach on Sunday. And I was like, dang, I really wanted to go to the beach, blah, blah, blah. So I came home and I was like, dang, we should just plan another trip to the lake because I really want to go. I've been wanting to go to the lake, like the actual lake. Get in the lake water, walk on the beach, walk on the sand. Phone's ringing. I started talking again without pressing record. That was my daughter calling. But so I really wanted to go to the lake, didn't go. So I came home. I'm like, we need to just plan another trip to the lake. Like, we haven't actually been as a family in a while because when we were just there, it was just a couple's kind of day for my friend's birthday. It was just like a few couples and a couple people. And so I was like, let me see if my mom and my dad want to go to the lake and we can all go as a family. And then I was like, dang, my mom's not going to be able to go because she's going to Florida next month and she's probably not going to want to go to the lake and go to Florida. But she said yes. Then my dad said yes. And I was like, whoa, okay, this is crazy. Then my brother said yes. And I was like, okay, this is really nuts because all three of them really want to go. Like, okay. So I started planning the trip and just like looking into different places to stay or whatever. Well, I was out working, delivering in the country the other day, and this lady whose house I was delivering to, at first glance, she seemed a little into her own thing, right? So I pull up to her house and I see what looks like a deer in her yard. I'm like, whoa, there's a baby deer. Let me tread lightly. I'm not really afraid of deer, but deer can be afraid of us. And so they kind of get defensive sometimes. And I was like, wait, that deer is behind a fence. And actually there's like multiple baby deer behind this fence. And I'm like, why does this lady have deer in captivity? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, it's a lot of deer here and people hunt deer and deer. I mean, I can walk out my front door at any moment and there's a deer somewhere in the neighborhood. Like, I see deer every single day, right? But I've never seen anybody with a deer as a pet. So I'm getting out and I'm kind of looking sideways at the house like, y'all domesticate deer now? Like, come on now. That's a little bit too far. So I get out my car and I hear, meh, meh. And I'm like, that sounds like a goat. So I look closer and I'm like, oh, one of these things has like horns, like a ram horns. And I was like, okay. And then I was just really confused because they're just like yelling at me at this point. They are really trying to get my attention. They're yelling at me. All of them are man, man, really loud. I'm like, dang, what's happening? So then I'm marking up to the trailer and I see the lady and I'm like, oh, hey, didn't see you. She's like, oh, hi, I didn't see you either. She's on the ground, sitting on the ground. And she says, oh, I had to put my chickens in their coop because there's this raccoon that keeps coming and picking my chickens off one by one. I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. And she's like, yeah, but I had to separate them because the bigger ones are picking on the little ones. She's showing me like these little black chickens, all black. She said even the meat's black. I forgot what she said they're called. Maybe I can look it up and put it in, but I forgot what she said they're called. But look, they're like these little chickens. They're like this big and they're all black. And then there's the regular chickens that are like this big, and she's putting them in a separate section. She's like, they're picking the bigger ones, the older ones are picking on the little ones. So I'm like, aw. And then, so she starts talking to me about her chickens and all this other stuff. And so she's like really talking and really feeling comfortable and just like telling me all these different stories. She's telling me this story about this other black man who came to deliver some stuff. And her dog, her pit bull, went running toward the guy trying to play with him. She said trying to play. But I guess the man got scared. So she said he threw his package and dived into his car window. She said his kids were in the back seat. And he just like dived into his car trying to get away from the dog. And she's like running in her like little four-wheeler trying to get down to him. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's friendly. He's friendly. And he's like, oh, okay, I didn't know. I just see a pit bull and a white lady coming at me. And he's like, I didn't know what I needed to do. And she was like, I'm so sorry. He's fine. So she told me that story. And she told me this, just a bunch of different stuff about her property and her goats. So apparently these deer that I thought were deer are goats. There's two different kinds. There's some European kind of goat that sheds like sheep. Oh, and there's some sheep over there too. Okay, so wait. No, there's European sheep that shed like dogs, and then there's also some goats. So I was like, that's strange, I don't see any wool. She was like, yeah, they don't really keep wool because they shed a lot, especially in the summer. So she's telling me, I'm asking her different questions. And at first I was like, this lady's crazy. But then I was like, oh, okay, she's kind of interesting. Then right before I left, she started yelling, Stella, Stella. And I'm like, who the is Stella? Stella better not be the pit bull, because I'm about to dive through my car window as well. I just told her that I used to be afraid of a lot of animals and dogs and stuff, and I'm not that afraid of them anymore. Just from doing this job, I'm around, like, I see almost more animals than I do people at this point. So I'm thinking that she's calling her dog. And she walks around to the back of the trailer, and then she comes back and she opens up the goat gate. And she lets this goat or sheep or whatever it is come out named Stella. She wanted Stella to come over and meet me. Stella's the baby of the bunch. She was just born not too long ago. Come here. So she wanted me to meet Stella. So Stella comes over, and I'm like, ooh, I don't really know if I'm really at a point in my life where I want to meet animals and goats and sheep specifically. Like, they're cute, and I did tell her that at some point in my life I would love to have, a property where I could have like chickens and goats and horses and stuff. I'm not there yet, okay? I just got to the point where I don't like run or lock my car doors when I see a dog coming. So I'm baby steps, right? But I think that she took that as, I'm an animal lover, which I am. I love all of God's animals, God's creatures. I swear I do. I really, really do. I'm just not an animal petter. So I didn't really know what I was supposed to do when Stella came over, because I didn't really want to pet her. Then Stella comes over to me, and Stella has poop on her tail and her booty. I'm like, Stella, you got shit on your booty and your tail. Like, I'm not trying to meet you like this. Come on, girl. Like, we can meet at a later date or something, but I'm really not, So I don't really know what to do. So I guess ma'am sees me looking at Stella's booty and notices the boo-boo. So she goes, oh yeah, Stella hasn't been feeling good. I had to put her on some adult diapers last night and let her sleep with me because her stomach's been upset. And I'm like, well, ma'am, wipe Stella's booty, okay? Like, she has shit on her. I mean, she's an animal, so I don't know. She lives outside. I guess that's normal. But anyway, so I'm just like, hi, Stella. So I, pet Stella's little head. I didn't want to be rude. And then Stella came up to me looking for some attention, so I didn't want to not give Stella some attention. And then Stella was like, girl, I ain't paying attention to you. And she starts eating the grass. And so the lady starts talking to me about how she sells her goats. She has a set of wild goats to one side, and then the hand-raised goats and sheep to the other side. So she was like, the fence is so high over here because these wild goats can jump 6 feet high and they'll get out. She was like, sometimes they even still get out. And I'm like, damn, the fence is as tall as your house. Like, how do they get out? And she's like, yeah, they figure out a way out, but they always come back. And so she was saying how this rancher that owns a ranching hunting lodge in Texas comes to buy her wild goats for his hunting ranch. So basically he has this hunting ranch lodge where people go, they hang out at the lodge, and they pay like $10,000 to go and hunt these goats. Well, they pay to go and hunt whatever animals he has at the time. She just sells him goats. And she was just like, they pay all this money to go and they hunt. She was like, they have a certain amount of time that they have to kill the animal. If they don't kill it, then, the animal gets to run free. If they kill it, then they pay to have it taxidermied, and they donate the meat to a local shelter. And she's trying to justify herself to me. Now, for a second, I judged. I can't lie. For a second, I definitely judged, okay? Because $10,000, first off, to hunt, to kill an animal, you can come here and hunt for free. You may not be able to hunt goats, but you can come hunt something that look just like it, which is the deer, because I thought it was deer that when I pulled up in the first place. You can come here and hunt for free. Plenty of them. Just got to come during deer season. Plenty of places to go hunt. But she was like, that also includes like a stay at the lodge and drinking and food or whatever. So, but she was trying to justify to me that she sells her goats to this place to be hunted. And I'm like, girl, I don't know nothing about hunting, first off. All I do know about hunting is that all my uncles, my cousins on my dad's side, they all hunt. Most of the boys I grew up with hunt. So, like, I know that about hunting, that people do it. I don't know nothing about nothing else. So, I'm not going to judge you for some of your animals, for however much you sell them for, to get hunted. And she even said that some of her goats are like 10, 12 years old because they haven't been killed yet. She sells them at like 4. And, you know, if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't. And then she was like, but if they were cows, they would live to about 2, and then they'd run them through this machine, club them over the head, and then we'd have beef. And I'm like, ma'am, your business, your life. I judged for a second. I'm not judging. I don't know anything about it. You do you. And I'm sure like $10,000 to me is a lot of money to go kill an animal, to go and do anything really. $10,000 to me is just a lot of money. I could buy a car. Okay. I could probably buy a tiny house with $10,000 here. So, you know, it is what it is. You do you, whatever. My whole point in telling this story is that this entire time I'm there for about 20 minutes. Ma'am is barefoot. And it's not a driveway. It's not a paved anything. The part that that's actually the driveway is like gravel and dirt. Everything else is grass. And like, I'm watching where I'm stepping because it's literally shit in the yard everywhere. From the chickens, from her dog, I'm sure, probably the goats when she lets them out or they get out on their own. I'm literally tiptoeing around whenever she's showing me stuff because I don't want to step in shit. She's just walking like either she knows where the shit is or she ain't worried about it. And so I'm like, damn, you know, like, you gonna step in the shit or you, like, I don't know. So the whole time I'm like crazy, walking around barefoot. But after I got in my car and I was going home and I thought about it, I was like, dang, she's probably really in tune with herself, the universe, Mother Earth. If she's walking around her yard that much barefoot, just today, she's walking around barefoot like that, she's probably very in tune. She's probably very touched. You know what I mean? So then I get home and I'm telling my husband about it. And I tell him the story about whatever. And then he starts watching these videos. And so I'm listening to the videos as he's watching them, of Dr. Yaqui. He follows Dr. Yaqui. My husband had a heart attack a couple of years ago. If you don't know, I talked about that in my Get Ready With Me chit chat on my birthday. But he had a heart attack a couple of years ago. And one of the things that has really helped him to change his eating habits and lose like 40 pounds in the last year, really, is some Dr. Yaqui teachings. So I don't remember the video in full, but Dr. Yaqui was just talking about the like 5 things that we need in life to basically be balanced. It was like water, fruit, and sleep. And one of the things was nature and like grounding and being in nature and touching nature. And you need to touch grass with your bare feet. And I was like, dang, I really want to do all these things, but I don't want to walk in the grass with my bare feet. First off, I don't like bugs. And there's lots of bugs in the grass. Second off, there's lots of doo-doo in the grass. And I don't like that either. But then I thought about it. I was like, dang, when I was a kid, my grandma used to have to make me put on shoes. I literally used to run around barefoot constantly. Concrete, rocks, grass. It did not matter. To where my grandma would be like, okay, look, you can be barefoot. Just when you go in the grass, don't step in no shit because you get tapeworm. Well, she didn't say shit. She said doo-doo. She probably said dookie. My grandma was a dookie kind of lady. So she was like, don't step in no dookie or you're going to get tapeworms. So anyway, yes, Dr. Yaqui said that's one of the most essential elements of life or whatever it was. I'll have to find the video. Maybe I can link it down below as well. I believe that was on Sway in the Morning, so I'm sure I can find it and link Sway's Universe. But yeah, I used to run around barefoot as a kid. Like, you could not pay me to put on shoes. I hated wearing shoes. And he said that basically the only time you should wear shoes is on concrete. So I'm here at the park because I need to ground. So I said all of that to say I'm at the park because I need to ground. So I'm taking off my socks and my shoes. I'm actually really ashy. Don't judge me. I'm ashy for a reason. We'll talk about that later. But I'm about to go out here and ground for a couple of minutes. That actually felt really nice. And I can see myself doing that every day before I go work. I think I'm going to make that a habit. Now, when I told my husband that I don't think I can do it because I don't like bugs, he's talking about some ain't no bugs. There's definitely bugs. I had to avoid a couple of ant homes. Didn't want to step on the ant homes. I'm wiping my feet off now. I just Googled if you can wipe your feet after grounding, and it said sure. But I didn't see any poop. There's a lot of squirrels here at this park, so there's a lot of like nuts and acorns and stuff. I got an order from DoorDash, so I'm gonna actually go and pick that up. But yeah, grounding, and that's nice. I think we should all try that. If you have a, nice grassy or sandy or dirt place where you can go and ground, it's really actually nice, and I enjoyed it. And I might come back and do it again after I'm done working today. But if you made it this far, if you like this video, hit the like button. Leave me a comment if you practice grounding or anything like that to get you more in touch with nature, more in tune with nature. Let me know, because I really do want to get more in tune with nature. When I say my daily prayers every day in the car, that's where I say my prayers, in the car, in the shower. I always thank God for all of the beautiful things of this earth that are all connected and that work together in our benefit, and I'm so thankful for those things. So I usually start my day with being thankful for the earth anyway. So thanks so much for being here. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.